practice stuck case. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. As you can see right here, my older son and his buddy went to Cabela's. They got tired of me shooting on my hillbilly bench. It's now what holds the chronograph down there. This is my Father's Day gift right here. They got me a new shooting bench so I look a little more professional on YouTube. What we're going to do today, we got a little different gun for everybody. It's an icon. When you see this form, I mean, everybody, just about anybody that's ever played Modern Warfare or anybody that's ever been on one of those games knows this is the Desert Eagle. This particular pistol right here is my son has it. It's a 50 A&E, also with a 44 barrel, but this one right here is the 50 A&E. It came with its original black. I'm not even sure what to call the finish, whether it was melanite or what it is, but everything that he carried, it kind of scuffed it up, and if you didn't keep it oiled up real well, the thing wanted to rust. So what he did was he works with a guy that did a little Cerakote job on it for him. This right here was done by Turkle Customs, so I want to throw a shout out to Joe Turkle. If you guys want to get a really good job, if you want to get a close-up, you can see the burnt bronze and the black phosphate. He even took the individual parts apart, got the black phosphate on that, and on the hammer. You know, everything here has been touched, taken apart, cleaned, and the finish on Joe's work right here is second to none. The meticulous work that he put into making sure that the coating was 100% and everything was up to snuff. Plugged the barrel off right, did everything right. This gun, he took a regular black 50 A&E, which, you know, they're pretty expensive, and currently I'd say my son would tell you there's no price tag on this one. This one here is a keeper. So again, I want to throw a shout out to Joe Turkle, Turkle's Customs. If you have something that you want Cerakoted, you can see right here, here's the guy's work. This is his product. To me, you know, when I first, my son told me he was going to get a Desert Eagle, I asked him, I said, what are you thinking? I mean, what are you going to do with that? We live in West Virginia. You're not hunting bear, you're not hunting moose, you're not hunting anything with large teeth in it. And, you know, I was totally against it until I shot it. When I shot this thing, I mean, this thing makes sense. Would you shoot it? Sure, it's a bigger gun. You know, if you're going to go carry around a 500 Smith & Wesson or a 460 Smith & Wesson or a 454 Casull, if you like semi-automatics, you live in West Virginia where we're still a free republic, you can use this gun. This gun is perfectly viable to go out and take West Virginia-sized deer. Adequate power, clear out to 100 yards. This is a 100-yard handgun. What we're going to do today with his particular hand loads, he's loading a 350 round nose, 350 grain round nose flat point. That's on top of 30 grains of H110 with a CCI large primer. We haven't chronoed this thing yet, so today, with his hand loads through the new finish on the gun, I'm going to throw it through the chronograph, and then we got a water jug out there at 25 yards. We're going to give it a try. So again, 350 grain round nose flat point, berries plated, 30 grains H110, CCI primer, 50 A&E. .1240. .1215. Air. .1239. 1149. That particular gun right there with the recoil with white knuckles on it just pounded my elbows into the bench. Very uncomfortable to shoot that thing off of this bench. Next time I'll have probably sandbags underneath my elbows. But 1240 roughly, 350 grain round nose flat point. What we're going to do now is we're going to get some more ammunition. I'm going to touch that. I'm going to shoot the water jug out there 25 yards. We'll get an idea what it looks like. All right, same 350 grain reload. Got one in the gun right here. We're going to shoot that water jug out of 25 yards, see what it does to it. had to aim a little low, what you saw there on the steel plate. Right here was the entrance hole. Back here is the exit hole. I mean, it did what a round nose flat point's supposed to do, and that's penetrate. We only had the one jug left after doing the super video earlier on, but somewhere in there, there's a good skid mark from that big bullet. That's what's left of Milo. All right, this is my son Andrew, the one that bought me the bench for Father's Day. This is his pistol. Right now he's going to shoot the 350 grain XTPs through his Desert Eagle over to Chronograph. Error. Error. $16.23. $15.29. $14.55. All right, now we're going to let my video man shoot it a couple times. 3 rounds. He's going to shoot the right target down there with the 350 grain Hornady XTPs. Doing a little bit of a review. We've shot this thing probably 50 times today. Again, this gun probably doesn't have but 100 rounds through it. You have to have a very good grip on this gun. If you don't, if you get a limp wrist, any kind of limp wrist with this gun, it's very prone to not closing the breech all the way. Call it a failure to feed, call it whatever you want. Really, at the end of the day, it's called a limp wrist. If you don't get white knuckles on this thing and let the recoil springs and the gun do its job, you're not going to have a real pleasant time with this gun. So any recommendation I could throw out there, any review that somebody wants to throw information out there is that if the cool factor is there, but if you're buying it because of the cool factor and you don't have a whole lot of experience with handguns, specifically shooting bigger caliber handguns with a lot of recoil, this is not your gun. This is just not the gun to do it with. This thing will disappoint you. But for guys that are looking for the very powerful semi-automatic, this is an Apex gun. This is a top tier, very powerful 50 A&E. You're looking at 12, 14, 1,500 foot-pounds depending on the load. And all said and done, in a good holster, you know, a good chest holster, can be a very good backup gun for areas where you're remotely going in and there's animals that are 10 times bigger than you are. But overall, 50 A&E, me personally, I like it. I've shot a lot of guns like it, so I give it a thumbs up. But again, if you got weak wrists, this is not your gun.